Booyah. Just Cruising. Episode 8. Unscripted, unfiltered, unequal.
Hey.
On everything.
Unrivaled.
Unrivaled. Ooh. Words. What's next?
Unstoppable.
Ooh. Ooh. What else again?
Unbelievable.
Ooh. The unstoppable juggernaut. There you go. Right. So, today's topic is actually unscripted, but I'm going to throw it in the air and say we're going to talk about survival mode. Came out of nowhere.
Survival mode, Kes.
Why are you asking me? I don't know.
Jesus.
Why? So, survival mode is a term that I like to use. A few guys use it as well, but it relates to your living. Generally, your living, your earning potential, your ability to earn, how much you save, what you have in the bank. So, for example, survival mode would be what's in your account. Do you have assets and liabilities? What do you have? What your earning is like? Your survival mode is basically, if you're in survival mode, you are living paycheck to paycheck.
Okay.
That's survival mode, which is if you're not working, if you stop working today, you have no idea where your next meal is going to come from. That's survival mode. A lot of people are in survival mode. They live in paycheck to paycheck. You know, there are a few factors and or qualities that can make one tell if they're in survival mode or if they know someone that's in survival mode. If someone's in survival mode, you can always tell because you're looking at if they're looking for a job, they're looking for how much to get paid in that job. They're looking for more of the money when they get paid than actual benefits of the job. If that makes sense. You have people that they will take the most discerning jobs or just like the job just because they need that money. Because there's no other plan B or plan C or plan D or there's no side hustle. So survival mode is literally that. To get out of survival mode, one thing that needs to be done, well not one thing, there are a few things that I say, my point of view, need to be done for one to get out of survival mode. One, you need to look at your monthly outgoings, and then you need to be able to save 6 months of that monthly outgoing. So if your monthly outgoings are say £1,000, say for rent, bills, food, everything, say £1,000, you will need to have £6,000, at least £6,000 in your savings. That's that on the side. So in case you lost your job today, you can survive on 6 months money without your lifestyle changing. So that's you getting out of survival mode. If you don't have that, you are basically in survival mode. Or 1, 2, if you don't have other sources of income, you are in survival mode. Makes sense?
Does make sense.
So on the flip side is you don't need to have your 6 months down or there, but you need to have other income streams. So when you have more than one income stream, you're not stressed about where the money's coming from next time. So if I have say 4 or 5 income streams, if I have 5 and I lose 1, I still have 4. I'm not stressing. If I have 4 and I lose 1, I have 3. I'm still not stressing because I can get 1 more and continue. Because that's one way to get out of survival mode without saving 6 months of that. The issue and danger of survival mode is that you It's horrible. It's traumatic. You are always hustling. You're always trying to, you can't sleep well at night. There's always too much worry about that. Would you say you've seen people in survival mode, or you know people who are in that kind of survival mode, whereas they don't know where the next paycheck's coming from?
Well, they don't know where it's coming from. I mean, I've seen that. I wouldn't say now that I really know people that don't know where the next paycheck's coming from. However, in terms of living month to month, or even week to week in some cases, yeah, I definitely see that. It's interesting because it's the norm for, I would say, for most people, right? Is living month to month, paycheck to paycheck. Most people with a full-time job, anyway. It's I would say there's a minority of people that have got their stuff organised to the point where, if they're out of work for multiple months, they're going to be good.
Yeah. I think one other thing that keeps a lot of people in survival mode is the single life.
Elaborate, please.
Right. So here's the single life, great. The single life is simple as this. It's like you live alone. Your bills are by yourself. Your rent's by yourself. So if you are with a partner
Or flatmates.
or flatmates,
Mm-hmm.
you share rent.
Mm-hmm.
You share the bill. So if the place you rent is about 2,000 and you have 3 other flatmates, it's shared between 3 of you. You're saving more money that way. Or you have a partner. It's, well, I say it's shared because most people would do the whole 50-50 thing. Personally, I don't do that. I don't do half and half now. I don't see that. I don't do that. I don't believe in that. I believe in chessboard.
Chessboard.
Yeah. On the chessboard, the king moves like this. One step, one step, one step. The queen goes anyway. The rook goes their own way. The knight goes, the castle. Everyone has their part to play in the chessboard.
Mm-hmm.
It's not 50-50. That makes sense. So because
Okay.
everyone's got their part to play. The dog barks, the cat meows. The cat does not bark, the dog does not meow. So you play your part and everything rotates well. When the cat is trying to bark and the dog is trying to meow, you're trying too hard to be what you are not, and this is when Wahala comes in.
So Wahala.
Yep. So cats don't play that. As simple as that. So even in the household with others, I pay everything. Am I making sense?
Yeah, this is an interesting topic. Survival mode.
Just came out of nowhere. Pow! Survival mode.
That's just what's interesting to me about it is just how normalized it is in a way. Like for most people, like, oh, I'm gonna work. Month to month. Maybe you go out. Like I overheard one conversation recently where someone was explaining how, I work and then I've got enough to kind of go out a few times, and that's kind of it. Because they're talking about rent in London and how much it is and yada yada yada. And it's just interesting how this quality of life is, it's just the norm. Like, for most people, maybe they go on a holiday once a year, twice a year, they'll go out a couple times in a month maybe, and that's it. Occasionally buy themselves something. And most people don't consider aiming for more or any alternative to that. It's interesting.
Is what I know though is when it comes to the more so thing is I have this thing. If you are not making enough income, you should not be holidaying. If you're not making enough money, you should not be going on holiday. If you haven't got enough savings, you should not be going on holidays. If you are saving money just for holidays, you should not be going on holidays. I can bark that all day, every day. People don't get it. What happens
That's an
is-
interesting take.
It is, because they go on holiday and then they come back even more broke. It's the same situation of getting married with
You just reminded me of someone that spent
yeah, exactly that. It's about getting married with a
I was in debt for years afterwards.
20,000, actually like 50 grand, and then you end up in so much debt, and then you walk into your marriage home and you're that broke.
Marriage starts off in
It
stress.
starts off in stress. You know, it sounds so small and so minor, but it's not minor. It's actually a lot. It's actually a big thing, because that's your peaceful place. As the girl saying the place or something. is watching us, not watching you. So it's hard. It's really, really hard. So I tell people, like, be careful how you do your things. You won't have your priorities right. I get it, and I get the mental of, oh, I need to go on holiday. Okay, I get that, but do you need to go on holiday? Why holiday? Where are you going? What are you looking for? What are we looking at? These things matter. They matter in the end. But what do we know, right?
It makes me think back to the I think it was the first one we did when you were talking about working that extra 10 hours a week. You know, as a way to start.
It is. Because it goes full circle. If you notice, the things I talk about, it's the same thing.
They all connect.
Everything is connected. Everything is connected. If you're planning holidays, good. But if you are in survival mode, you need to sit down, think about what your priorities are, grind what your next 6 months is, do it. What's important and what's not important, what you want to focus on. So you want to be like, okay, you know what, for the next 6 months, I'm not going to party. I'm not going to spend £100 a week on alcohol. I'm not going to do this. Simple. When you cut the small things, it goes back to your earnings again and your income. When you cut down on things that are not necessary, you start realizing you're making more money because you're saving more money. You've made the same money, but because you spend a lot less, you're making a lot more money. But again, we don't talk about this. No one talks about this. Everyone's talking about, oh, pop champagne. Oh, what's interesting is, now, ye who art popping champagne.
Ye.
Yes, ye. Yes, I went there. Ye who are popping champagne, right? The champagne you're popping, is that your club? No, it's not your club. If it's your club, then please let others come and buy it in your club and pop champagne in your club. No problem. If it's not your club, why art thou popping champagne? Because I go into that hermit mode, which is basically everyone goes, oh, you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 things. Celebrate. Okay, I've done 10 things to celebrate with. But that means for me, I have 90 things more to do. So I'm not gonna go out there to pop champagne. If it's not my club, I'm not popping champagne in that club. If I don't own that club, for me, power is everything. If I don't own that club, I am not popping champagne in that club. It's just that simple. If it's not mine, if it's not ours, I'm not doing that. I'm just giving my income to someone else that doesn't care about me.
Let me share something real quick on that.
Sure.
I saw a video, I think it's on Instagram, and this guy was talking about all these brand names are families,
Yeah.
family names. I don't know if you saw it, but he started referencing different brand names, and I'm not going to give them any more shine than already, but he just started listening, like clothing brands, champagne brands, car brands, and he was like, boom is a family name, this is a family name, that is a family name, this bag you're wearing, this thing here, this is a family. And when he put it like that, I really had to stop and go, wow. You think about all these people who are investing in that and making that family name even bigger, and not considering the fact that they're not investing in themselves, you know? Like I remember a while back I designed this hoodie. It was inspired by Black Panther, because I really loved the movie. And So I did this design, and I had them do the vibranium parts coming around here, and there was some. I got my own font, like I bought the license to this font, and
Yes, bro.
yes, big man. Lollipop man's on vibe. Looked like he was bubbling on the zebra crossing. Anyway, I had, and I'm sure you have the same thing with your merch. I felt so good when I put my own stuff on. And now I find, like when I buy something, like recently I bought some stuff from a particular brand which does stuff. It's like boxing wear, but it's supposed to be like luxury, not luxury, but it's like quality boxing gear. And you know, after a little while, I realized the material on this clothing is not great. Like it started to fade, and this was after like 2 or 3 washes. The stuff I made was so much better, and it really is a real eye opener for me, because now I find if I'm looking at something to buy it, in my mind it's like, can I make this myself? Can I make it cheaper? And yeah, it just goes back to what you said. Like a lot of times, you're just investing in someone else's goal, someone else's dream, and it's easier. You know, it's much easier. That was one of the other things I found. Like when I would wear my own stuff, you'd see people double take when they saw it because they didn't have a frame of reference for it, right? And so initially it was a bit like interesting watching people's reactions, but that's you stepping out and like expressing yourself, your unique creativity and everything else. And yeah, that's the way forward, man. Being creators, not just consumers.
So that's the hard thing, though, isn't it?
Yes.
For one to actually step out of their norm and try something new, because again, we are human. We are creatures of habit. We have a habitual nature. This is a habit. We're gonna go to the shop, go and buy this brand.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Go and buy this brand because our brains find it easy to go, okay, that's the brand, I'm buying that brand. Simple as that. So this is why companies flog the brand into your brain morning, noon, night. They literally whip the brand into your brain.
Yeah.
So you are always talking about the brand, buying the brand, you are being about the brand. So you've already bought the brand without physically buying the brand. So when you walk into the shop, you've already mentioned the brand, you buy it. It's simple as that. There's a lot of money in advertising for a reason. A lot of people see that thing for a reason. And you know what? I'm not gonna knock the hustle. I totally get that. You go, girl. You know, do you, boo? Absolutely. So yeah, it's a thing I look at. I think when I first started making my own merchandise, I could not wear anything else.
I totally get it.
I could not. I still can't actually, because there's a sense of pride. There's a sense of
There's
a sense
different.
of workmanship. There's a sense of I made that. You know, it's a carpenter who makes his first chair. That's his first chair. But then you go, oh, I've got this. That carpenter made that chair. You will never understand how the carpenter feels about it until you make your own. And then you go,
Yes.
wow. So this is how other carpenters feel.
I get it now.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm gonna make some more stuff. It's time.
Make stuff. I like there was a glove wrap that I saw, a boxing wrap that I saw. That the Black Panther one from the brand Hayabusa brand.
Okay.
Oh, free promoting, free marketing. You're welcome. It was really nice. It was a black and purple color. It was a well fit, well done color, but because it was a Black Panther Marvel, they just said, okay, we're gonna charge you 3 times the amount. Like for what?
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I can do it myself for cheap. Yeah, 3 times the amount, and I could pay for it, but I was like, I'm not gonna pay for it. I know what this is blind marketing. Just because this is the name, they're gonna sell it to you because, you know, least producers, biggest consumers, right? So if they go, oh, I'm gonna put the name Africa or Black Panther on this item, I'll double the price. And then my fat ass, I'm gonna buy it. T'Challa, T'Challa, buy it, double the price. What nonsense is that? You don't do that. You don't do that. Not at all. So so here's why I wanted to talk about survival mode. Men in survival mode tend to not see the big picture.
Speaking of,
We're hungry. That's it. Men in survival mode tend to not see the big picture because they're hungry. Because they want it now. I gotta feed my kids now. I gotta feed my mom now. I gotta do this now. So that's survival mode, which is they want to do it now.
that
They
makes
have no
sense.
long-term
That
goals.
makes sense because it's fight or flight. It's short-term perspective, right? You're
Yes.
thinking about. You're not thinking long-term if you're in that mind frame.
When you're in survival mode, you are constantly in the trenches. You're at war. So there's a war thing going on. It just seems like everyone's against you or someone's fighting against you. So there's a war going on in your own mind. And for no reason, this war is happening. I wasn't invited to the war. I don't know why the war is there, but I couldn't buy shares in the war, but cool. So there's a constant war going on, right? That we don't know about. And that's the issue with survival mode. For men, is they tend to not see the big picture because they don't have the time or the patience for the big picture. Because everyone remembers what it's like to be hungry, and when you are hungry, you don't have the clear view or the time to be listening to someone like me saying to you, oh, you've got a plan for the future, a plan that you're like, I ain't got time for that, I need this now. That's a reality. So there's always that look in your face, that frown. It's not the focus look, it's the it's the angry look. Like you're angry at something for some reason. Or you're angry at someone for some reason, but you're angry at yourself because you didn't plan. You failed to plan to fail. You didn't plan. So that's for the men. For the women, what do you think it is?
What do I think?
Yes.
What is?
Women in survival mode, what do you think their characteristics are? Or how can you tell?
That's a great question. What I see in a lot of women who are in that survival mode is in a lot of cases it's women who are very much in a masculine frame because they're having to navigate. Maybe they've got children they have to support, but they're very much in a masculine frame of going out there and getting things done.
A war zone.
Yeah, they got to go and fight and make things happen in a lot of cases.
Survival, war zone, trenches.
I see that a lot of women, especially women in management. There you can see this. You can see the stress. You can see the stress. I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny, but yeah, sometimes it's just like, oh man, you're going through it.
So, have you let me see if it's have you noticed that maybe it's just many of us, but if a woman in survival mode, if you smile at her or you say hi to her, have you noticed that she looks at you like, don't talk to me, I'm surviving here.
Yeah, at times.
So they look unhappy. Is that what I'm saying? I would say unhappy.
I've seen that. I've definitely seen that.
I see that a lot. I I see. For me, I think for most times, I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I'm a hi, how are you kind of person. I'm a smiling person. Like, yeah, just look at you, just look at you. No, I don't care. But I've come to notice that the ones who are in survival mode, the ones who are struggling to make ends meet, have that resting bitch face. That's it, yeah. The resting bitch face, like that kind of like screw face for no reason situation. But then when I screw face, oh, I like the way you screw this face. When I smile, it's like, why are you smiling at me? It's like they want me to be the warrior in the garden. To be at war at all times. And then when I'm at war, then I'm more attractive.
The fascinating thing is, now we're having this conversation, I'm having these things pop into my mind because with my work, bartending is really interesting in that you get, you know, people from all different
Walks of life.
areas and walks of life drink alcohol, right?
Yes.
So bartending is this weird like key which just gets you through all these different doors. And what I'm seeing now in reflection is the people that are more financially secure, there's a different energy there. Like, it's not to say that I'm not saying they're all happy,
No.
but that thing you're talking about there, that's that sort of stressed
Laid
kind
back.
of energy. You don't feel that, and it's like the more money they have, the more you can feel there's a sort of a confidence where they're not, like you say, they're not worrying about paying
Next
the
paycheck.
mortgage or the next paycheck because they're good on that. Now you might see some boredom. Do you know what I mean? You might see some lack of fulfillment or, you know, something missing. It's not to say, don't get it twisted. I think a lot of times people who are financially rich are even more bereft because, do you know what I mean? They don't have the emotional connection, I find a lot of times, or the emotional fulfillment in their relationships and the spiritual life and all these kinds of things.
That's a different topic about
But that's a different topic. But yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's, like I said, there's the financial stability vibe. There's the survival mode vibe. So the ones who are like, I need that £5, you know, I can twerk for £10. There's that vibe.
Sometimes I can feel it when they come to the bar, you know, bro. Like before they even say anything, before they even order, sometimes you can just feel like the lack, the uncomfortable
experience.
There's people that don't know if there's enough money to pay for that particular drink.
I know.
There's people that say, don't make the drink yet, charge it and see.
No way.
I'm serious. This happened last night.
No way.
I'm serious. You wouldn't
Please
believe.
explain.
You wouldn't believe some of the things I see, man. I'm talking. Guy comes to the bar. He's like, oh, I want I go to make it. He's like, no, don't make it yet, because I don't know if I've got enough money on the card. Could you charge for it, and if it goes through, then make the drink? And I have to. You get to the point where you have to be almost like a doctor, where it's like you can't look at him like, are you fucking crazy? You have to just be inscrutable. You just okay.
Remember, it goes back to what I said about work your 60 hours, grind for 6 months, don't party for 6 months. Just head down to the ground and grind. For 6 months, do what needs to be done. Boom. And also, look at your outgoings. Are they necessary? Once you've got that done for 6 months, you have more than enough money to go and spend if you want to go and spend money. Well, we don't talk about that. You know? And then there's the I've got the money situation. I'm not in survival mode kind of stress. So what different kind of stress is the I finally got here but I feel unaccomplished kind of stress. It's a whole different vibe. Yeah, it happens. Money does not make you happy. It does not. No, let's not get it twisted. But trust me on this, there's a lot more bills to be paid that can be paid when you have money. You know? It's a whole different kind of hustle. You have problems, you have big boy problems. You have problems, you have big girl problems. That's what it is. You have issues that dumbass kids. You have issues that
Fuck them kids.
I love kids, man.
I'm joking.
You have issues that are different. I call it, you have £1 problems, you have £10 problems, You have 100-pound problems. You have 1,000-pound problems. So different level, different devil.
Yes.
Different level, different devil. But best believe, when you've made paper like that, you're not going to be worried about £2 or £2.50. You're not. Different vibe. You're still going to be cool and calm. But when issues come, issues come. Which is beautiful. It is what it is. It is how it is. So there's always going to be an issue somewhere. Always. You get to see that. Survival mode. Just that thing vexes me, and it's not easy, and I get that. But it's not everyone needs to party every weekend. Not everyone needs to go and spend money in there every weekend. But remember what we said about habits. When you are consistently going out and partying, that becomes habitual for you.
Yeah.
You cannot unscramble scrambled eggs. You can try. Good luck with that. But you can't just change it. If every weekend you're partying,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden your new partner says, you know what, stop partying, you're gonna break up with them because you want to continue partying. And even the party is not worth it. It's not. Because your brain is so accustomed to this habit. And for you to change that, that's a whole now different training program. Same thing with shopping. We as a society are now addicted to shopping. Oh, online shopping.
Man.
We are addicted to online shopping. So imagine, for example, one of my members, I sell these products in my gym at the reception. So that means when you walk in, it's right there looking at you. When you walk in, it's right there looking at you. When you walk in, it's right there looking at you. It's right there looking at you, Dave.
Good.
This person goes online and buys it online. I sell it cheaper.
But they're so locked into buying stuff online that they'll spend more money.
No, their brain does not see it. That's what it is.
Wow.
When your brain has given you a habit of, oh, if I need any item, I will find it on my phone.
Yeah, because it filters everything
It
else out.
filters everything else out. It becomes white noise. It becomes background music. It becomes elevator music. Your brain cannot see the thing you want because you are now accustomed to seeing it on your phone. Your brain can't see it. As examples, it's like
This applies to so many things.
it's like driving around and you're thinking about a Mercedes Benz, right? You don't see any other car except Mercedes Benz. That's your focus. That's all you're going to see. So now the question is are you seeing that because you want to see that? Or you're looking for that? Is that your point of view, or is that how life is? It's your point of view. Because every second, everything in life is passing you by. But what you don't focus on, you don't see. What you focus on, you see. So if you focus on, okay, I'm going to buy 1, 2, 3, 5, 35 things from the internet, all you are seeing is internet. So that part of your brain does not come on until you are on the internet. Then that part comes on and goes, oh, I need this. And every damn day, you're walking past that same place, seeing the same thing right there. But again, it's atomic habits.
The brain is incredible because there's a couple of things I want to touch on. First of all, when you spoke about the partying thing, I had a partying phase for about 3 years, maybe 3 years, where I just yeah, man, I was out all the time. And what's interesting is when you become that kind of person, that becomes your identity, then you attract people on the same wavelength. So I had a group of people around me, and they were all partying all the time, and we'd get smashed, man. And I'd party sometimes 7 days a week. After work, I'd be just physically a mess. But at a certain point, it just was taking a toll physically, and it was like chewing gum that had lost its flavor. So then I found myself starting to gravitate back to martial arts, and because it was a very addictive behavior, and I could see more and more people in a spiral. And as I got into it, I realized there's almost like I want to say an underbelly, but there's like a subculture of people that party and who know about where the parties are. So the more you party, the more you find out, oh, there's after party here, there's a party that goes all through the night, there's one that starts the next morning somewhere. So you can just literally party 24 hours a day if you know the right people, and then it just starts to all connect up. So you start to meet the people, yada yada yada, and you can just stay in that flow. And so environment's so powerful. And I found being in the boxing gym, being in Wing Chun class, being in martial arts classes, started to then give me new connections and new environments and healthy activities. And there's certain people that stayed in that party phase, and I bumped into one of them some years later, and I could see she was, just years of just abuse, man, drugs and everything else. She looked so different, like she'd aged really badly. Worn out, man. And
knackered.
And going back to what you were saying about the filter.
You're wicked!
Who's that?
Continue, sorry, I'm listening.
Going back to the brain and the filter, there's a thing in the brain, I think it's in the hypothalamus, the reticular activated system, which basically functions like a filter. So it's like the more at a certain point of priority, it starts to look for that stuff. So if let's say you're an entrepreneur, and you're really locked into that, your brain's going to be tuning into opportunities. One person's driving down this road, they're not going to notice that, oh, that's a spot I could potentially open a business, or your brain will filter for that thing.
That's
so
true.
whatever it is you're locked into, it becomes like a lens that you see the world through. And like you say, you just start to think, oh, life is like this, but it's just your focus.
It's your focus. It's your point of view. It's your grasp. It's true. So I think for me, my party phase didn't last long, because I had my boys I was partying with, like, man, mad club, mad part, all this stuff. But then my party phase now started to coincide with my professional fighting phase. So I was pro fighting
and partying.
It's fine. It's fine. I can handle it. I got cardio for days. I was a cardio freak, But now I'm old, so I'm tired. Just tired. Different. Don't talk to me.
You start talking about your knees again, man.
Bro.
I went to pick something up yesterday.
I'm going to nursery
I went to pick something up yesterday, bro. I was like, okay, I gotta do something about this. I gotta start doing some yoga or some shit.
You're talking about yoga. Me, I'm saying head, shoulders, knees and toes, fam. The way I'm hurting. Anyway,
my knees could talk yesterday, bro.
Finish now. Let me finish this.
Oh God. My knees have been like, wow.
I'm trying to be serious today.
God. Sorry, I was too.
Lies. Sorry. So basically, right, the guys I was partying with, it was awesome. It was so fun. Fun and games were your party crew, but they were not your fighting crew. They were the same guys that would party with you, spend £100 in the club, but they would not spend £15 to watch you fight. Say it again. They're the same guys that would spend £100 in the club, but they will not spend £15 or £20 to watch you fight. They won't spend 25 quid to watch you fight. That's just how
that's deep.
It's not deep. It's just
when
how
you
it
think
is.
about it, like, that's crazy.
It's not crazy. It's now. Bear in mind, I've been on literally all sides of the fence, from fighter to host to organizer, everything. Right? I've been on every part. Now, what you don't want to do is you want to be the shark. That's it. Be the shark. What's a shark? Sharks don't complain about Monday. Shark, just shark. You understand? I'm the shark, which means I'm not gonna go out feeling like, oh no, the dolphin looks sexier than me, or the whale's ass fatter than my ass. No, I'm a shark. I fucking go. You understand? I be the shark. If this other shark is attacking first, so be it. We just go. So that it was either that mindset or the depressed mindset. or the victim mindset. I ain't no victim. So it was a tick from day one. Okay, if these are not my ride or dies, then I ride alone. And here I am today. You understand? Because I could have kept banging on. Oh no, you guys have to come, because we go partying all weekend. But now I'm fighting in 6 weeks. You guys, I've got these tickets to sell. Here you go. Just come. At some point, I just say, like, don't buy a ticket. Just here you go. Take a ticket, free ticket. Just come. I'll pay for you. No show. When it's party time, it's an excuse. When it's party time, everyone should up. When it's fight time, it's an excuse. Now, this is where it got interesting, right? This way it became. I saw group economics and group mentality. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm not sure if you can tell, but if you notice, I'm black.
Are you really?
I didn't tell anybody this. I'm black. Right?
Wow.
I know.
Revelations.
So now
you heard it here first.
Not first though. Hey. So what happened was, now this happens, and it's not to be felt bad or whatever. You should not get emotional about it. It just is what it is. So I'd go to a fight show, and there were other fighters who are not as good as me, not as technical as. But guess what? Those guys sold more tickets. And they sold more tickets, and they got top billing. So this person is fighting. His friends are all coming. 10 friends, 20 friends, all coming. His friends are bringing their friends. They are bringing their friends. So one person will sell 50 tickets, which means the seats are full. So now I've sold 2 tickets. No matter how good I am, the main event is not for me. No matter how good you are, if you're not selling tickets, they won't put you in front. They're gonna put you down below where beginners, everyone's coming the first time. The first 2 fights, when no one is coming, you go and fight and go. But the ones who sell the most tickets are the ones that are main events.
This is bringing back memories.
Because imagine me, I'm an organizer, right? And I rent this venue for 8 hours. In order to get my money's worth, I want to keep people in the venue until the last minute, which is what there's. As long as they're there, I have reception there, selling food, selling drinks and alcohol. So we're making more money that way. Make sense?
Sure.
So if I have 5 different fighters that sold mad tickets, I'm gonna put those 5 guys on different points. Whereas I go, okay, most tickets sold here, second most here. So I make sure it's well balanced out. So throughout the whole night, the bar is going.
It's gonna be a flow of people.
There you go. So everyone's looking at the fights, but as the organizer and the host, we're looking at, okay, how much money can be made from this one show, not just ticket sales. So it's crazy because it's like that. Because even you rent a venue, you have to rent. Say, it depends how much you pay for the venue. All the money at the bar goes to the landlord. Or if you pay double, then it goes to you. So whatever way it is, someone's selling tickets, someone's making money from ticket sales. So if you are the best fighter out there, but you don't sell tickets, sorry mate, you can't fight on our show.
It's a big part of it.
It is. So in that way, I wasn't selling tickets because my homeboys weren't coming. My friends weren't coming. And it showed me, I wasn't mad at them, but it just showed me what position to place them. That's it. Don't get mad. Understand the chessboard. Again, back to chess. Understand the chessboard. On your chessboard of life, you now know where to place them. Are they pawn? Are they rook? Are they knight? Are they bishop? That's what it is. So you don't get mad because everyone plays their position. What you know is that, okay, so these ones are not the ride or die. Boom. They're the ones that if I need a party being made next week, I'll call them, say there's a party here, bring your guys. That's it. Again, if I have a club, I'll say, okay guys, I'll call you. Okay, come on, buy champagne in my club. Remember, see? Full circle. Pop champagne. There's a time and a place for everyone. It is what it is. So that phase was not long for me. The fighting and drinking phase was long for me. So my party years ended like abruptly, because I was like, if you can't come and see me fight, I cannot come and party with you. Don't get mad. It just is what it is. If you can't come and see me fight, I'm not gonna party with you. You know? Yeah. You look dazed and confused, Dave.
Oh no, I just need a bit more sleep. but what you're saying is what you're saying is very key. Very key. Just knowing where to like you say, position people.
It is.
Where do they fit in?
It is.
And that notion that everyone has their own part to play. I
Yeah.
love that.
They do. They honestly
that.
do. Because in your younger days, you would assume that, okay, this person messed up, I'm gonna cut them off. Yeah, I get it. But that in itself is a bit impulsive. That is a bit impulsive, because everyone, remember, they're just like you. They're human like you as well. To err is human.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with being imperfect. You are supposed to be imperfect. You are a human. Things are not supposed to be perfect. This is why I like the camera as it is. It's shaking. It's all that. The light is not perfect. Good. The idea is to let everybody on earth know that, listen, we are not here to strive for perfection. We're here to get the message out to those who need to hear it. So perfection is not what we're looking for. We're looking for strengths and weaknesses. So once I know your weaknesses, I'm still gonna fish for your strengths. It's like, okay, this is your strength, good. When it's time for us to go to that strength, we're gonna go there. Until then, we're good. So is that placing? And it's kind of what's helped me a lot going down the way. Is that I know where to place people. I know, okay, this person is good at this, but not so good at that. This person is good at this, but not so good at that. And it's awesome. It's actually been very helpful. Very, very helpful. So that way I'm giving everyone like a second chance, but on a different department.
Love it. Absolutely love it. One of the ways that I think about this, because this is something I've pondered myself, is like everyone has their, like you say, everyone has their own strengths, weaknesses, and you know, you wouldn't, for example, try to eat soup with a fork, right? And yet, how often do you see people blaming the fork for not being a spoon? Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, if you would just be more like a spoon, everything would be fine. But it's a lack of, you know, it's accepting people for who they are, man, and what they can do and what they can't do, and just working with that, you know.
That's the hardest part, though. Accepting people for who they are.
Yeah.
I generally think that we don't accept everyone for who they are because we have a hard time accepting ourselves.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's the funny part. It's like, dude, accept that you are imperfect. No, I can't. Accept it. You're imperfect. I'm flawed. I'm absolutely flawed. As much as I want, I'm not perfect. I'm flawed. Everyone else is flawed too. And once we get that, boom. Because I have this issue, even when I teach to today, is a new face is coming and expect to get the groove on their first try. If that makes sense. Expect to get the move on their first try.
Yes.
So the first time you do it, you want to go boom. No, you're meant to mess up. And they beat themselves up. They get mad at themselves. They get upset at themselves. I'm like, why are you getting mad at yourself for? You're meant to mess up. That's why you're here. You're here to fuck up a lot of times. And I'm meant to go, nah, do it again. And then when you get it once, like, aha, you see? You're meant to make a mistake. Because if you don't make a mistake, you actually don't get it. Because you want to see it from the bad part, the bad point of view, the bad perspective, before the good one kicks in. Simple as that.
Martial arts taught me that more than anything, because I was very much like that. I would get, and it started from sports. I remember I'd get so frustrated if I did something wrong. If I played like basketball was my game when I was younger. If I played a game, I would sit and I'd go over all the things I did wrong, and I'd beat myself up, and I'd get really frustrated.
But why though?
And do you know what? I think there's a few things. I think the way we're educated is let's say, for example, you're at school and you write an essay. The teachers will tell you everything that you did wrong, and so the message that is communicated is it's wrong to make mistakes. You know, A is when you've done everything that we want and they're happy, but you know, B minus is when this is wrong and that's wrong and that's wrong. And so I think most people internalize this idea that they need to be perfect to be accepted, to be loved, and whenever they see any kind of flaw or mistake in what they're doing, then they judge themselves. That's what I think it comes from. I think it's quite a deep-rooted thing. And then what I found was boxing in particular, just the number of reps you have to do to work on a technique or develop it. It just destroys your ego, man, because you just can't. There's some things I've been doing hundreds, thousands of times, and I don't like my hook. I don't like this. I don't like that. And then at a certain point, it just started to click to me that no, the only way for me to get this is to make the mistakes. Like, I have to go through the drudgery. I have to get it wrong. And then I started to like enjoy the process more. And that's why now, let's say I'm bartending and I'm working on a flare trick, I'll drop the shaker or whatever 10, 12, 20 times. But I know that from when I learned to skip boxing, when I used to clap myself in the ankles, you know, hit my toes when I was doing Muay Thai, just skipping around, all the pain of just starting over again, and just that humbling thing and learning patience. Like, taught me so many lessons about that stuff. And you're right, that's the beautiful thing, because once you've got it, it's kind of like, yeah, I've got it now. I know how to throw it. It's really the process. It's the process that builds you. That builds your self-discipline, builds your determination. You transform yourself through that grind of reps. But like you say, most people are like, shit. When I get it. It wouldn't even mean anything if you got it straight away. You know, I remember meeting one guy. He came into the boxing gym because this guy was the most physically gifted person I've seen like step in a box, because he hadn't really boxed before. It was crazy. His balance, his speed, his coordination. It was just there, like nothing I've ever seen before. You sure you haven't boxed? He's like, nah, I haven't boxed.
Figure skate.
But do you know what? He came in. I think he did one session. Never saw him again. Because it came so easily to him. It had no value.
Because his brain would have gone, oh, I've done one class, I didn't get tired, I've mastered it now. I can go and teach boxing now. Okay. There's a reason why when I see boxers who are fighting and in their fight they don't jab, I say, you got paid to lose. So how do you know, Kes? If you go to a boxing gym, you're doing reps and reps and reps and reps of jab. You're going to jab till your teeth fall out. You're going to keep jabbing. You jab, that's your life. So when you're fighting, you know nothing but to jab. Jab. So when you see fighters not jabbing, professional fighters not jabbing, like, you got paid to lose, didn't you? So,
You believe that?
I know that. It's a whole different topic over there. I'll break it down for you.
You can have that conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Off camera. Dumbass. Seriously, human beings today just lack survival instinct.
It's the people crossing the road on their phones.
Mate!
That's the one.
You want to die, eh?
That's the one for me.
I know they say my car's like a ninja car. It just goes ninja. It doesn't make a sound. Smooth, baby. But Mike, look around your surroundings, man. Please. Fucking stupid. Right. So that's basically that. Repetition is key. Survival mode is what you want to constantly get out of. So even if you haven't found your purpose in life, I would say you need to first off get out of survival mode, because once you get out of survival mode, the doors are not looking better. Things are looking better, less stressful, less anxious, more calm, because in the process of getting out of survival mode, you actually start to find yourself more. You find yourself more, you find what you're good at, you find what you want to do, and the door's open. She can have spoken. Any questions, sir?
No, I don't have any questions. Do you find people have any questions?
Of course. Well, it is what it is. Get out of survival mode. Stop complaining about everything. Stop being a little bitch about things. You're not perfect. Neither am I. We're not perfect. We're meant to make mistakes. I've made more mistakes than you ever will. And guess what? I'm gonna fuck up some more. Boom. That's what it is. So one of my quotes for this year should be, I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, I fucked up. Oh shit. Never do it again. It's true. Repeat it. See what happens next time. If it's happening again and again and again, insanity. Expecting different results. But if it's a new result this time, I learned something new.
Reps.
Fuck up reps. Anyway, that's what it is. I guess episode 8. It's been emotional.
Yes. Boom.
Thank you very much.